And the Palacios was nearest to it in the middle. Foul conceded there by Musa. We're about to find out how long we've got left. Fourth officials down there with the board. In the meantime, here's Musa from Real Madrid, but loses the ball. Ivanovic. Well, that's a foul by Chouameni. I mean, everybody's losing the ball, aren't they? It's been a distinct lack of quality down there, Steve, in this second half. Absolutely. So 9 minutes. It's been added on. I think that's the only number I didn't mention. I said 7 or 10, didn't I? We got 9.
Frank Garcia is going to come on in injury time as well.
So Frank Garcia for Carreras is the Real Madrid change. We're going to see Cabral as well. The Benfica. So Cabral on to replace Leandro Barrera. And then catches the substitute who's only just come on. Rolled around like he'd been down for a while and then jumps back to his feet when the free kick's given.
Surprisingly, jumps right back up.
Yeah.
Just catch him.
Ujebem ti suncu, pičku.
Looks a bad one at that point, Steve. So Benfica rapidly running out of time. They've got to find 2 goals in stoppage time. And he goes by Cabral, and punched away by Courtois. And in actual fact, he's going to be given the free kick as well. The Real Madrid goalkeeper. It makes you wonder whether they've used all the miracles up on match day 8, Benfica. It seems unlikely they can pull it out the back here in the Bernabeu tonight.
Yeah, they had the perfect opportunity tonight in the Bernabeu. I know they were 1 down, but the team that Real Madrid had out, if you're ever going to catch them, it's today. They won't be this week, we've said that before. Going forward, you need to catch them today, and they just haven't been going. They've got enough, haven't they? Which, as we mentioned before, suggests that they're not good enough by their form in the Champions League.
There's Palacios, Chouameni, Frank Garcia. Frank Garcia moving forward to that kind of position that we saw Carreras in a lot tonight. Now Chouameni, sees Alexander-Arnold. Now Rudiger. Turned by Chouameni, took his goal superbly well in the first half.
Yeah, he's been good, Chouameni, actually. The fact that he plays in the centre of the park, it's important that he's had a really good night.
I think the two who stood out for me as outfield players for Real Madrid have been Chouameni and probably Valverde.
Yeah.
Apart from that, it's been difficult, hasn't it?
Yeah. Really got quality tonight, as we mentioned before. That's right. That's the thing that's hit you in the face all night, hasn't it? And Real Madrid finishing with 3 18-year-olds on.
Yeah, wonderful good possession here. Palacios now gives it back to his captain, Fede Valverde. It's Chouameni. Looking at more than 5 minutes of additional time still to play as Vinicius Junior sets off. It's Snow got support here from Alexander-Arnold. Tries that low cross in and ultimately puts it behind for the corner.
He's on the injured boys.
Yeah. Ball together down there, and Militao, Dean Houston, Jude Bellingham. Certainly going next to him.
Fitness coach, one of the fitness coaches down there. Gets everywhere, David, doesn't he? It's everywhere.
So Alexander Arnold to take the corner. Frank Garcia's Joe Rudiger in there. Sure, Brady was jumping and headed it straight at David Alaba. Steered back out here to Alexander Arnold. Flanked away by Dedic. Cabral gives chase over there. Steve, you're closer to this club than anybody else I am. I mean, what's the feeling around the place at the minute with the fans? I mean, because they're second favourites at the minute to Barcelona in La Liga. I mean, it seems a time dream to think they could win the Champions League this season. Going through managers.
Yeah, the fans were not particularly happy the way Xabi Alonso was treated. That's when the white flags came out and the white handkerchiefs. Since then, they've gone on a really good run, went top of the league, chased Barcelona down, went top. But then they lost to Osasuna in second now by a point. So they need to stay involved with Barcelona. They played to them, they can't do. They've got 3 or 4 games left of the season, so that'll be tight. So they're always going to be fine in La Liga. But it's what happens in this competition. And as you said, they're nowhere near good enough at this moment in time. They need all the gates back as soon as possible for them to go on to a bit of a challenge. And we know the next round is in a couple of weeks. If they come across a Manchester City, as we said, they may get lucky if they get Sporting Lisbon, but if they come across a Manchester City with this type of team, there's nothing to have for them.
I mean, the only thing you'd say about Sporting Lisbon is they're above Benfica in the Portuguese league, so they might be better than the opposition we've seen tonight.
Yeah.
But on another night, they might have gone through here, Benfica.
But even they're not top, are they? Unfortunately top.
Yeah.
So,
and they lost to Forest in the
yes, it's a much of a muchness.
So it's a great advert for the Portuguese league.
No, it's not. You need a bit of fortune, don't you, in the draw? That's what you do. You need your big boys back. We've said that before. You need a lot of luck in the Champions League. You need to avoid red cards, penalties, and you need your strongest team out at any given moment. They've done it. But they've navigated this evening, and that's all they had to do.
Yeah. Based on what happened in Lisbon last week, the fact that Vinicius Junior's got the all-important, decisive third goal on aggregate feels right.
Yeah.
That's had a good battle with Dedic tonight, yeah. Very forward by Trubin.
Applause from the fans from it's hard running. And that's how joining in. I mean, Alvaro Arbeloa, of course, he's managing a lot of these youngsters.
Look at that, that's behind court.
Ma dai.
It'd be interesting if you're taking a penalty in that end, and they all pull the line something like that, wouldn't they? Bradley Silva gave Benfica the lead, remember. Didn't last very long. Chouameni went down the other end, and after 2 minutes and 44 seconds, he made it 1-1, and that really was the moment, wasn't it, from a Benfica perspective. They could have held on to that lead a little bit longer and put some doubt in the minds of the Real Madrid players. They got the crowd a bit more agitated, you never know, but yeah. On by Fede Valverde, control on the chest by Palacios. Vinicius Junior looking to run in behind. Well, there's the full-time whistle, and for the 29th successive season, Real Madrid reached the last 16 of the Champions League. And it's relief in many ways for Alvaro Arbeloa. And fitting as well that Vinicius Junior put the exclamation point on Real Madrid's safe passage. They'll get big players back, but they need them back based on what we've seen tonight. And now they'll find out whether they play Sporting Lisbon or Manchester City in the last 16. Rafa Silva gave Benfica the perfect start. But inside 3 minutes, Chilwell scored his first ever Champions League goal at the 39th time of asking. Ardagula had a goal ruled out for offside, which would have given Real Madrid breathing space, and they had to wait until Vinicius Junior, 10 minutes before the end, scored his 13th goal of the season, his 3rd goal in the Champions League in this campaign, and his 6th goal in his last 5 games, and that was enough to get Real Madrid through. Final thoughts, Steve?
Yeah, Real Madrid did what they had to do. Wasn't very impressive, but they will get better when they have their better players back. That's only normal. They just need them back sooner rather than later.
Not a classic night in the Bernabeu by any stretch of the imagination, but Real Madrid have got the job done. They've won in 3-1 on aggregate. They've beaten Benfica by 2-1 tonight.
Darren's absolutely right. Not classic, not when we look back on and go, wow, remember where you were when you watched that one? But look, Real Madrid have done it nonetheless, Joe.
Job done. Job done. It had to be that man Vinicius in the headlines last week, and he brilliant over both legs. I thought the finish was superb. I thought Matt had nailed it. I said they need to play the best players back, and they need them back quick. And they're going to be there or thereabouts, that's for sure.
Vinicius, when he scored that goal and made that celebration, just tell the viewers how you reacted in the studio.
Yeah, I was slightly excited. I was glad he actually went to the corner flag and replicated the one from Benfica. I think he shows that he's obviously not let it get to his performance, and particularly that he did particularly.
Alright, Benfica, early on in the game, they really played their part in this, and we thought, wow, Real Madrid just not giving enough in the early stages.
Yeah, I think none of us going into it give them a chance. I thought, going off the first leg, we thought Real Madrid at home would dominate, but they went for it. They tried to get players in wide areas. They tried to make it difficult for fullbacks. They were committing bodies into the box with crosses. They got their goal, and you thought maybe they could get another, but they weren't able to do that. It was sloppy in their defending when they gifted Real Madrid their goal back into the game. And the second half, I still felt Benfica were in a game, but Vinicius Junior, when he breaks away the way he does, and is as calm and composed to put the ball in the back of the net.
Te koliko lud ovaj čovjek je.
It's beautiful. I mean, that man you picture there, Valverde, is the other shining light for Real Madrid on the night. But when he gets in them positions, the biggest compliment, nobody here thought there was anything other than he was just going to dispatch it into the bottom corner. He is a real joy to watch as a player. And when him and Mbappe, if they can get them on it together at any given time, they can beat anyone in Europe, that's for sure.
Exactly. This is quite an average, would you say, Real Madrid performance, but they've still got some ways to go. In the last stages of the Champions League, that's what happened in Turin. Juventus against Galatasaray, that has gone to extra time. You can go over to TNT Sports 3 to watch that. The Italians are actually 5-2 down from the first leg. They scored 3 goals tonight. Lloyd Kelly was sent off in the middle of that comeback. Galatasaray have no reply, so it's all in Juventus' hands. They've got 10 men on the pitch. Over on TNT Sports 3, if you want to get updated with that one, we'll keep you up to date over here as well, though. Meanwhile, on TNT Sports 4, you can catch this right now in the Welsh Open in snooker. Kyron Wilson is up against Yu Long. It's now he's 3 frames up, so you can go over to that one, TNT Sports 4, if you want to follow on with all the action live right now. Meanwhile, Real Madrid against Benfica tonight in the second leg. They had a 1-0 lead, but it was ever so slightly nervy in the first half. That man there put the game to bed. Vinicius Junior with a brilliant finish once again. We'll get all the analysis and reaction after this quick break.
Bote koliko ludi igrači je.
This program is brought to you by MasterCard, UEFA Champions League official partner.
Ali on uporan igra ko da je nerešen rezultat je bote.
The Europa and Conference League playoffs conclude tomorrow. Stuttgart host Celtic. Forest face Fenerbahce. Crystal Palace take on Zrinski at Selhurst Park.
Stage is set. Here we go. So fast. It's so aggressive. Is it phenomenal?
Sounds like MotoGP is back.
A little clutter can take up a lot of space.
Pozdravi sine, pozdravi protivnika, tako je. Fanovi, fanice,
Fashion, kids' toys, sports,
pozdrav od Muse.
fees, vintage.
Bače, evo.
At Bet365, we're here to keep every moment extraordinary.
Koliko bre dao gola čaju, lud bre.
That means taking a break.
8 gola, jebote.
Nicely done by Bolga. And it cleared by Sanchez. Salas